Dave is a guy. Can you fill me in on a little background? I love it when you give me in a break. You give me 3 pages of single space notes to read for background. But we're talking about a guy who believes he was fired improperly.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, basically he came to me and said, "Hey, do you want to hear a story about somebody who was wrongfully terminated?" And I said, "Well, would that have been you?"
Just quickly, hang on, before we get into this, if we could, the guy, the contest, Dave, was it?
Yes.
Dave called back. We lost him.
We did lose Dave.
Okay. So, Dave, give us a call
back.
Dave,
we want to give you a dinner over at Carmela's, so call back and Ryan will hook you up. All right, so Don is the guy that's on the line. Yeah. Don has been fired.
He's been terminated, and he feels...
What did he do for a living?
He was a bus driver.
A bus driver.
Yeah. And he feels, and he basically
school
what
bus
he had
driver
told me,
or
yes,
a
yes.
Okay.
What he had told me was he believes he was fired for going and defending another employee or defending a coworker.
Okay. Don on the line here. Without I want to be very careful about getting into names and that sort of thing. I'm assuming it's Birnie Bus Company because you they handle the buses around here. Is that correct, Don?
Yes, it is, Bill.
So you've been fired, and you feel unfairly dismissed.
That's correct.
And full disclosure, I do want to say, you probably will not better your chances of ever getting rehired there by coming on the radio. You understand that?
I do.
Okay, so you're willing to move forward despite that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So without naming names and none of that, what happened?
Basically, there was an altercation between a female employee and a male employee.
Both bus drivers?
One was a bus driver. I believe the other one was a monitor.
Okay.
Okay.
And in that altercation, the bus driver had made a statement regarding the way the individual had exited the building because a door was slammed into the wall. And after that statement was made, the individual went absolutely ballistic, screaming, yelling, got in the individual's face, and was kind of pushing him into the corner, refusing him to leave the building. Okay, so this is... All right, so the bus driver is the bus driver male and the monitor female? Is that what we're saying? Correct, yeah. Okay, all right. So at which point I had stated that the female did not need to be in the male's face like that. There was no reason to talk to him like that. And you told that to her? You told that to her? Correct. Okay. And then the aggression was turned to myself. Oh, okay. And it turned into an argument. Threats were made on her behalf towards me, as well as racial slurs and comments. It was then... When we actually, it might have been... I'm looking at your text here, and it might have been quoting Rosie O'Donnell. If you wonder what Rosie O'Donnell had said, it's quoting some of Rosie O'Donnell's tweets the other day. Okay. Yes, pretty much. Did you return fire? I did not. Other than making comments, you're a stupid bee, who the F do you think you are, nothing threatening or anything of that nature. No. Okay, but you said those things? Correct. Okay. And did she get fired in this situation also? No, she's still employed there. Okay. All right. And all right. So then what happened? So you responded. You did call her some names. She called you names. You responded.
When you say she threatened you, what do you mean?
She had made threats that her brother would be waiting for me after work to beat my A. Okay. As well as the other statements that I provided you. Okay. We got back. We spoke with the supervisors and provided statements. When she got back into the building, she was like a tornado ripping through there and making statements to the effect that we were targeting her and she was targeted by us. After about 2.5 weeks of an investigation, I was pulled into the office and told that due to my involvement in that situation that I was terminated. You were, as well as the other bus driver, was terminated? They could not disclose. They just said that they addressed his role and what he did wrong in that situation. I do not know what his status is. Okay.
Do you know the guy? You still don't know what happened there with him?
I know who the individual is, but I don't personally have contact with him. Okay. Okay. But so what was the reason for getting rid of you? Is it because you intercepted into this, or you placed yourself in the middle of it? More or less, they said that I had violated the code of conduct, employee code of conduct as outlined in the handbook, and by asserting myself in a managerial role that escalated the situation.
So you were a manager of these two?
No, I was not a manager. Well, by coming to the gentleman's defense, that
you put your
take on that managerial role in their eyes.
Okay, so what they're saying, you should not have gotten involved. But
Correct.
and in fairness, if you don't know that the guy was hired, the bus driver was fired because it's a private matter, then you really don't know about the female either, though, right?
I do. I do know the female is still employed there as of today.
Okay, all right. So what do you want to accomplish by coming on the air?
Well, the fact that now as the road begins to curve, it's looking more of a racial issue. That by her statements that day saying that we were targeting her, she's now still employed. That raises a lot of red flags for me. I don't feel that I was in the wrong because she is in an employee's face blocking him from leaving a building. That it's unordinary or overstepping a bounds to say you don't need to be in someone's face like that.
Yeah.
That's not taking on a managerial role in any way.
You're bringing race into this now, which is I didn't get that in the beginning. So you're white.
Correct.
Is she a minority?
She is.
Okay.
She's African American.
And you feel that she was given a pass because she's black?
Absolutely. Absolutely at this point, because she's had multiple incidents there that she has erupted and berated people and gone off the edge and still continues to get away with it.
And I can only... all right, you're the boss here. I'll let you handle this.
Well, here's my advice. I don't know if there's anything we can do with this. I would just say to you and anyone listening, when you get in a dispute with a coworker, you can't say they're an F and B.
That is
in any
true.
case. And I'm not justifying what she did, but I think once you go down that road, you can kind of expect the worst. I don't think, based on what you outlined, we only got your half. This does not sound fair to me at all. Again, we're only getting your half, but I don't know that any discussion here changes anything.
This is something that Michael says. You were fired. This is somebody piping in. You were fired because of the third man in rule.
What is that like?
I don't know. Is there a third man in rule?
Is that like in the NFL? Like, someone does something illegal to you,
you
respond with an illegal move, and then you get penalized?
You see that happen all the time in the NFL. All the time. So basically, you got a yellow flag thrown at you because they didn't really see what happened over here and over here, but they saw you. I'm going to tell you. I think Birnie Bus is a good company. Clearly, they have to follow by, and today companies, we all have to follow by very, very strict rules, and everybody could be subjected to some sort of whether it's age discrimination or race or sex discrimination. I mean, look at what's going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a crazy, we're in a crazy place right now. So, and again, we're only hearing a portion of the story. We don't know, and even if she is there, you do not know if she had been what you don't know, and correct me if I'm wrong, how she was, what she went through, if she was disciplined in any way. We have no clue to that.
Correct.
You don't know that. So, Andrew.
So I guess my two questions were, one, was there any witnesses to the confrontation, whether it be managerial or another coworker? And two, you had mentioned, without getting into detail, that she was using racial slurs against you?
Correct. There were multiple witnesses because as we were leaving the meeting, obviously there was more than just two employees. Multiple witnesses did provide statements on behalf of what was seen as well as stated.
This is something. Nagel. Third man to enter a fight gets in hockey. Third man to enter the fight gets the misconduct.
Oh, that's what it is.
Right.
That is quite interesting. I never.
In hockey,
I never really knew that.
If two guys are fighting, it's you let them deal with it. They'll each get a penalty for it, but don't jump in. Yeah.
But
or you go get your own guy to fight, but don't jump in. That's how it works. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah. I would. Again, we're only getting your story, and I think maybe we should just leave it at this, what we know so far, and move on.
We're not going, and I hate the racial thing going down that road.
If what you're saying is true, and people will back that up, you might have a case for something.
Yeah.
Right.
Because based on what you said, it doesn't sound fair that two employees get into an argument, nasty things, nasty words are exchanged both ways, and only one
and
gets...
correct me if I'm wrong. Are you working under a contract?
No, I'm not.
Okay. There's no case.
See? No, there's no?
No case. You don't have any case. They can fire you at any time for any reason. You can be fired for any reason in New York State. And maybe there's an attorney that would like to correct me on that, but I'm pretty sure you have zero case.
See the importance of contracts?
If you have a contract, it changes things.
Right.
I know that. But I will tell you, you can be fired in New York for any reason, and I'm sure that when they let you go, it was done legally, and they, I guess there are certain ways that you could look into that, but I'm sure they dotted their I's and crossed their T's, but in this state, I think you can be fired at any time for any reason.
But even if the employer gives you a reason that's not like...
So we're in a different world here. We're in the corporate world, which is a national company. Changes everything, but in terms of New York State law, labor laws, I don't believe you have any grounds to go back on them. They got rid of you. They told you why they got rid of you. What they do to other employees or how they discipline other employees is none of your business, and it plays no role in your individual case. They're going to get you on the fact that you intercepted, which they said, A, you shouldn't have done. B, they're going to get you on the fact that you called her names. So erase her from the situation and only put you into it.
Right.
You're fired. I don't think, and I'm not saying that's fair. I'm not saying that's fair, Don. But I'm just, Don, you know me. I've been fired. I've been fired a few times. So
just a couple.
It's one area where
how many were wrongful? Though?
I have everyone. Every time I was fired. I have some experience in that area, and
you're right. I'm wrong.
I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure that now we're in a different world. Where
corporately,
because you can go after a company nationally, it's a little bit different. But based on labor laws in New York State, I think it's pretty simple.
Let me ask you this, and I guess this is just your opinion. But if he didn't use the F word or any vulgar language and just said, I don't know, to the guy or the girl, why don't we just take a deep breath, or, because he saw the situation escalating, would he have a case then? I mean, obviously he did.
No case.
He shouldn't have used the language.
They can get rid of you at any time for any reason. Trust me, the box is sitting out there waiting for me.
Those aren't toy collection boxes.
I don't want to mess this up. I hit 5 years next month here. This is a big deal for me in my career. So, Don, I'm just saying, it is a situation where I think that for your best interest, it would be to move on. It would be to find a better job and hope that maybe not use them as a reference. You're certainly going to have to put it down that you work there, but and to go forward with something like this, it's an awful thing to say, but it's only going to hurt you. So that would be my advice, and I'm sorry that's probably not what you want me to say, but Don, you know me. That's an area where I've spent some time.
Yes, just a time or two, Bill.
Yeah, a couple times. All right, Don, good luck, and I'm sorry this happened to you during the holidays. And ultimately, we get into these things thinking you're doing something right? You think you're standing up for somebody, you think you're doing the right thing, and ultimately, at the end of the day, I guess the lesson is that maybe trying to do obviously, if somebody's being punched or hurt, you can intercept, but if it was an argument, that third man rule might be a good rule in hockey. Just stay out of it.
Yeah.
But Don, I'm sorry that happened to you, and best wishes and happy holidays.
Same to you, Bill.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Stay out or go pick your own fight.
I got a break here. Hold tight. Coming right back at WIBX.